Our next speaker is Ines Rodrigues, and even though it says on the program APS, Asociación de Profesores de Sintra, I'm sure I didn't pronounce it right.
Yes, you did.
Oh, thanks. But she's actually from a company called Media Shots.
Yes.
And she's a journalist by training, who after 20 years of journalism learned that reality is always more than fiction.
Yes.
And is interested in everything that is human and continues to be surprised and to learn with those whom she writes about.
Thank you so much. I'll explain to you why I'm here. I'm really participating in this rights project with APS, Associação de Professores de Sintra, an association of teachers from Sintra, but I work with Media Shots, and the project I would like to share with you is done with Media Shots. It was our first project. It is not a very well succeed project, but I believe we always can learn with mistakes. So I would like to share this experience with you. I think the next story will be a well-succeeded one from Norway. Okay, so 2 years ago, we were intending at Media Shots to start working with digital storytelling in Portugal, which is a very brand new thing there. And we had this project to start engaging teachers and students with this tool. Carlos Gulbenkian Foundation, which is a very well-known foundation in Portugal, was looking for ideas for best practices to fund, to spread the knowledge and education concerning sustainable consumption. And we've tried and we've started to design an intervention with DST to work in a school about this issue, this particular issue, which is also interesting here in the Rights Project. In this project, we are trying to work also with global citizenship issues, and sustainable consumption is one of them, I believe. So we've started to look for partners with sharing advantages. Media Shots had the DST skills, and we would have an opportunity to expand, to start working in Portugal. DECO, which is a consumer association, had the know-how in this issue, and they would have contents for their websites. And we also had Lisbon Secondary School, working with innovating solutions and tools with a very open director. And they would give us the learning environments, and in exchange they would have free cost training. And the project was funded, so we started working. This project was planned to start in the beginning of the school year, but delays from the funder didn't allow us to do that, so it was delayed. And I'm sorry. We've learned several things, but because of this delay, we've lost one very important part of this project that Joe talked about, which is the environment. We've started working with teachers after schools, and they did a story with us, and then they were supposed to work with students in the classroom. But they worked all by themselves. We were there sometimes, but they had a lot of freedom. So they were not capable of create this environment to share things. So they shared the technique of producing contents, but they were not capable of creating these sharing environments. And we have learned also with them a lot of things. Most of them, I was surprised with this, most of them were very afraid of technology. Most of them were over 45 years old, and they were very scared. The students were very much ahead of them, so they were feeling really losing track on lots of issues, that the students were more qualified than they were, and they were willing to learn, but they were scared with technology. We also had younger teachers. They were very much interested in explore these new possibilities, and they worked with a natural intuition. It was much more easy to work with them. And they were not afraid of technology at all. But most of them were really scared about making a movie. They didn't believe they were capable of doing that. And in the end, they were really happy to know it was easy. So, with students, what have we learned? They, as Joe told us already too, we saw in this particular project how they are impacted by this media environment they are growing at. And their first tendency was to collect general information with a minimal critical approach. They would go to the internet, they would copy-paste a lot of data, and they would just assemble it. It was not a story. And we've encouraged them to assume and to give their own points of view, which was not easy at all. They wouldn't want to do that. Other thing that I think shows us very much this media environment, they would choose mostly shocking images to call attention and to ensure the impact of their work. And we've encouraged them to raise specific issues, to think about them, to reflect, and to have an opinion, which was not, it was not obvious to them. I should say here that in Portugal, the Education Ministry has an official speech of innovation and giving the students autonomy and critical thinking, but the reality in the school is not that at all. They are they have a lot of speed, a lot of pressure, a lot of curriculum and data to memorize, and they don't have time or space to zoom out from reality and to think. So it was very clear in this experience how much they react. They don't act, they just react. They try to react. Another thing here, I'm not looking at the slide, but I'll try to do it like this. So they lack creativity too. I mean, they wouldn't try to be creative. Of course, this would be very different if we were with them in a classical workshop, try to talk to them, try to share stories in several stages, but they were in their classrooms, so they were in this speed to do the work, and they were not very creative at first, but then they could do that. I'll show you some examples. But they were very they had a lot of intuition with technology. We were expecting that, and it's true. But they didn't had any notions of narrative and how to communicate, how to have impact, and how to get to the other, and how to reach others and be remembered. They didn't have an idea how to do that, just with shocking images, as I said. Well, this website, I will I will show the website now. It was the way we had to share this experience, and we have all the works there. Uh-huh. Yes. Oh, good. To open it. Good. So this project and this experience for me is very interesting, although it was not a success in the point of view of digital storytelling, because it's a really huge challenge for me how to create online such an environment of sharing and of people wanting to to open themselves to others and to reflect. This is the website we've constructed. We explained the project here, we explained the experience here, and here we have some resources. I'll show you. Some resources to share with other teachers, not only about sustainable consumption, energy, water, etc., but also some Creative Commons resources, music, sound, images, also tutorials, how to use the music, some tricks to film, editing audio and sound. So some resources here. And we also had What Happened, the movies. We had interviews with the teachers where they share their experience with others. And we have the movies too, so that other teachers would see and would share this experience. I know that in this school they are making stories right now. So they had this experience, they understand that it was not what we were trying to do, and now they are really working on having a point of view with the students and this sharing concern. I would like to say that this experience helped the students. They've all told us to look in the other way to media. So it was a media literacy experience too. As they deconstructed the traditional media models, they saw how things can be manipulated, and they look at TV in a different way today. So that's really important to us. And so this is the website. This is the address. That's all. Thanks.